As you all know, we're facing extreme weather, and what's the halacha when you have over 100 degrees outside, a heated day that is dangerous, over 100, it feels more than 105, such hot day that if you stay outside, you rapidly lose liquid, you can get dehydrated, it's very, very dangerous. One needs to know that today is not the same as regular fast day. Usually a fast day, which is one of the ta'aniyot, except Yom Kippur, a person has to fast, and fasting means that you prevent yourself from eating and drinking, so you feel hungry during that day. It's a inui, you could feel a little bit weak because of that, but the halacha says that if you feel weaker than normally you do on a fast day, you are already in a category of a chole. Chole she'en bo sakana. It's not like Yom Kippur that you need to have chole. You need to be chole she'yesh bo sakana to break the fast. In any of the fasts mid'Rabbanan, including the fast of Tisha B'Av, if you're chole she'en bo sakana, you are exempt from the fast. There's nothing to be brave about trying to fast. It's asur sometimes to fast also, especially if you could get dehydrated, it could come to danger. So the category of that would be anybody that feels sick in any way, he feels that he needs to lay down and he's weaker than normally he is on fast. And today that you have such weather, you also have some more dinim that I want to mention right now. First of all, if you could be today in an air condition, one must be on the air condition. You have to make sure you are safe. You and your kids and your wife, those kids that are over bar mitzvah, that are fasting, and especially if you have elderly and others as well. If you have to be outside, you don't have an air conditioner in the house, you have to work outside, you have to do things outside the house, so then a person that has to be outside in such weather, the halacha says, it's brought down in few poskim that he must drink less than a shiur every 6 to 7 minutes. The Or LeZion brings this down a couple of places. One of them is in Ilchot Tisha B'Av. He speaks about soldiers, חיילים המשרתים מקומות חמים מאוד, כגון במדבר סיני או בבקעת הירדן, כיצד ינהגו לעניין תענית תשעה באב. He says that since you could get dehydrated, you have to drink over there less than a shiur every 6 to 7 minutes. Keep on being hydrate, keep your body hydrated. Same thing he says in Ilchot Yom Kippurim. Over there he doesn't speak about only soldiers, he says anybody, and the halacha is simple that this should be to anybody that has to be outside in such weather. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach also brings down in his Sefer Alichot Shlomo, same thing, just he says a little bit more leniency. He says that there's a difference between other fasts and the fast of Tisha B'Av. On Tisha B'Av, he should have shiurim. On other fasts, when he has to be outside, he shouldn't fast at all, or rather, we're talking about liquids, not food. Liquids he should drink regularly. If a person has to work, he's allowed to work. And Moshe Feinstein brings this down in Orach Chaim, Chelek Daled. He says the following: אם נחלש באמצע עבודתו, היא מחולשה יתרה מדרך בני אדם שמטענים. ובכלל חולי שלא גזרו בו רבנן אף בתשעה באב. The way I explained before, that if you feel weaker than you normally do on a fast, you're exempt from the fast. Even Tisha B'Av he speaks about it. Now, are you obligated to not go to work? Maybe you have to stay home. Don't go to work. He says, מכל מקום רשאי לכתחילה לעשות עבודתו, כיוון שהיא מלאכת שמיים. He speaks about doing מלאכת שמיים, mitzvah, or some kind of something that you do for the public. So, such a thing, such work, a person is allowed to go and do. אף שאם לא היה עובד, היה יכול להתענות, כשעובד אפשר יחלש, יצטרך לאכול, that's permitted. בסחור אצל אחרים, if you work for others, you're also permitted to go to work. אף במלאכת הרשות שהוא הפסד לאחרים, נמי צריך לעבוד, ואף שאפשר שעל ידי עבודתו יחלש ויצטרך לאכול, that's permitted. So if a person has to work outside, he's a driver, let's say, and your air condition is not the best in the world, or you have to come in and come out all the time, so the body loses a lot of liquid that way. He says that at the minute you feel a little bit weaker than normally you feel on the fast, then you are exempt from such a thing. If you're weaker in nature, weaker than others, you also consider the choles. We have over here different ideas. Now you have to understand that it's safek pikuach nefesh, definitely a person is exempt. So if you feel dehydrated in any way, you start throwing up, or if you feel that way, you start having, or a person that he's lightheaded, he feels dizzy, in any way, he's exempt from the fast. He should drink right away. There's a difference between a person that is chole already to a person that's not chole, but to come to a chole because of those things. Person that is sick, he can eat and drink regularly. He doesn't have to do shiurim. A person that is not sick but has to work outside in such heat, so then he does the measurements that I told you. And this is the most strict opinion. I told you Rav Shlomo Zalman is even mekel without measurements. If a person has a doubt, in Israel they say, im yesh safek en safek. If you have a doubt, there's no doubt that you have to drink and eat and treat it as safek pikuach nefesh. The halacha says safek pikuach nefesh is exempt from fasting. Don't try to be brave. Now it has to do definitely a woman that's pregnant in this fast, that it's also nitcha, which is even much more kal, so she's exempt. A person that's nursing, a lady that's nursing is exempt. Any person that went through a surgery, one that has ulcer, one has any kind of surgery lately, one that has even a little bit of a fever is exempt. This is how the Or Letzion brings down. One that has high blood pressure, low blood pressure, diabetes, a list of things, but you got the idea. If a person is sick, or if a person that is sick, it doesn't fast at all. One that is not sick, but has to be outside in this heat, is supposed to take shiurim every 6 to 7 minutes, take 1 ounce of water, and with that, keep hydrated. Thank you.